This is where we look at Oklahoma running their GT out of 10 personnel sets. And typically this is how I've ran it in the past. And I really think it's a great run scheme at 10 personnel. And this is your typical GT in this look right here against the forefront. So inside gap, and right here I believe they end up slanting that direction. He's going to wash that. He's got first down on the backside. He's got his inside gap to backside linebacker. He got a 5-tech right there. He ends up just staying out there into the C gap. So he walks right there to that backer. And right here you've got a puller. Backside guard right here pulling for the defensive end. You can see he's squeezing down. He's working straight to that linebacker with no resistance. He's squeezing right there. He ends up wrong shouldering that. That's fine. You can log that. Good read here by the tackle going for that linebacker. So again, as you run it back, very simple rules. Inside gap to backside linebacker. He ends up crossing face, wash him down. First on the backside. Inside gap to backside linebacker. Nobody's in there. He doesn't run into any off color, so he just continues to work to that backside linebacker. Pulling for the front side end, pulling for the front side linebacker right here, and end up, obviously, forefront a lot of times what they end up doing, squeezing that, wrong shouldering, getting up to that linebacker. Obviously, quarterback's got to read the C-gap defender here on this because they have an extra defender backside. So, got to read the backside C-gap. Right there, holds that defender. Now their numbers are great right there. Great read there by the tackle, and able to get around right there and get onto the linebacker like he's wanting to. Now you guys in space for a big play right there early in the season. Here's another look at GT at 10, and right here Texas Tech, they're moving around, they're doing all this stuff. Which is great about this play is they just trust their gaps. You see this end right here, he's bumping around, not sure exactly where he's supposed to line up. So they snap the ball, trust your gap right there. He might block that D end if he wasn't extremely disciplined right there, stays in the B gap and works that linebacker. He's coming to kick the first thing off the edge right there. Backside tackle's pulling basically to clean up. He ends up blocking this defensive end who slid out to a C gap player. So right there, he just filled in just like if he was a linebacker, and obviously slow too, turning his shoulders, trying to get everybody to flow that direction as opposed to downhill. So right here, he gets his shoulders turned, and he sees there's a kick, so he gets vertical right there behind the guard. Gets just enough of him to keep him from getting in there. Now you got a really big gap with the one-on-one right there with the tackle and that end. Now you've cut vertical, and you're running with a lot of steam on some second-level defenders. You're able to get a pretty decent gain right there with the GT. There's another way that Oklahoma likes to run their GT out of 10 is to bring somebody in motion behind the quarterback, swing him, and obviously it's a little bit of RPO. I don't know if it's a pre-snap deal or they're reading it as the motion's occurring, but right here they end up not worrying about that, and they end up running that GT back that direction. And whenever they do that, they walk that end down, inside gap, first on the backside, kick, lead, and right here the numbers are not great for Oklahoma, but obviously you get a kick and you get a lead, so now you're in the alley and you're going to get at least a positive gain right here. This receiver here goes into the box and ends up blocking the guy that tackle's going for. Should probably be right there on that guy, but ends up going in there, being aggressive, getting a body on him. Somebody should be right there on that defender, but obviously good football players, they're able to make guys miss, and ends up getting into the end zone right here against Kansas. But you can see right there just a little bit of window dressing. You got that guy going that direction. You got a linebacker that floated out of the box all the way over there. And so with the handoff there, they're able to create a pretty big play and get into the end zone, even though they didn't quite execute on who they were blocking right there, but they're able to make a guy miss and get into the zone. Another thing that's great about this play is whenever you get mugged down linebackers, which people have started doing more and more of out of 10 personnel sets, then you're just going to be able to zone that thing off and take care of those guys. So right here, tackle takes the end. He goes straight to that mugged down linebacker, first down on the backside, reading the backside C-gap. He's pulling a kick right there. On this play, they end up getting a little bit of penetration. So right here, backside tackle gets knocked off. But right there, all you got to do is get that kick, reading that backside C. It's almost like a trap right there. You're getting vertical behind that and able to create a crease right there in 10 personnel because everybody's spread out from sideline to sideline, and then able to get vertical with your running back, and now making second-level defenders make a play. And anytime a second-level defender is having to make a play, it's going to be a positive gain. They end up making a pretty big play here against Florida. This is a really good changeup for just typical GT, and what it really is just getting a base tag right there for the front side tackle. Instead of down blocking, just base that guy. Don't let him dictate where that edge is going to be set, whether it's going to be a wrong shoulder and a log or if it's going to be a pin. Just go ahead and block that guy, keep that alley wide, block right there, block him, pulling for the linebackers, and you're reading the backside C gap. Right here, you can see they're basing that, keeping everything wide, reading the C gap, which is really wide over there, getting pullers, trying to fill in. Oklahoma State does a pretty good job of getting off blocks there and creating a disruption and not able to let those guys get up to second level. Good patience by the running back to turn this up and get at least 2 or 3 yards. But right there, really good changeup by Oklahoma. Here's a better look of this GT base, and again, blocking right there, he's basing him out almost like his outside zone. He's basing right there, he's first down on the backside, reading C-gap for the quarterback, pulling for the first linebacker in the box, pulling for the second linebacker in the box there for the backside tackle. We'll play it, you can see, keeping that edge, blocking him, and that's a really good crease right there. You can see there's the C-gap read. The linebacker flowed backside, and right here you can see the guard pulling in for the front side linebacker. And with the tackle reading this linebacker, you can see as he goes over there, he gets his eyes to him, then he works back, ends up blocking the backside C-gap for if they're doing gap exchange where he'd come down to the running back and he's there for the quarterback. But right here they end up blocking back, taking that end because that linebacker worked that way. And now they got a really good crease right there by basing those guys where they should have a positive game. But right there again, getting off blocks and tackling well is an equalizer to any scheme. But as you can see, the scheme right here I thought was really good. They're ending up basing that front side, getting a puller to the front side linebacker, and now they should have a pretty good seam right there if they can execute their blocks.